Hey, what's up guys, Brian here, and I have an updated zombie deck profile. Just got back from Las Vegas Regionals, and I did pretty well. So I got 34th place, unfortunately, because of tiebreakers. I did not make the top 32, but because I felt like I did pretty well, I just wanted to showcase my deck that I was running for this event. And this event was weird because I saw Orcus at like every table, but I didn't play one until my last match. So I started out, I lost the first game actually to a Trickstar Stun player who was playing Mystic Mine and Necro Valley. Unfortunately, I just could not get rid of those field spells and couldn't play, so I got 2-0 there. But from there, I won the next 5 matches in a row against True Draco, Safer Thunder Dragon, Math Mech, and then Pure Thunder Dragon, and then Border Stun. And then the next game was a draw versus the Mythical Beast Pendulum, and then the last match was a loss to Orcus. So I was very close to topping, and unfortunately, I made a very bad misplay in the last match, which took me out of it, but for the most of the day, I was playing really solid. A lot of people were not sure what zombies did too well. They kind of knew what the effects did, but they didn't play against it optimally. So I guess that's the one advantage I had with this build, is that they don't really know what I'm playing because no one else at this tournament was playing zombies, I believe. And like, I looked around, I didn't see any other zombie players. So I was here trying to represent for you guys. And I'm somewhat happy with how my deck performed, so just gonna showcase my build that I used. And I did make some changes from the last version, but most of it is similar. So still double Doom King. This is how you win games. You get him on the field with Zombie World, and then every turn you're just plussing off this like crazy, and he acts as protection and offense. He just does everything for the deck, and he got banished a lot today, so you have to be able to get the second one often, or you have to be able to make some plays without the Doom King, which you can still put some threats on board, but he's the main thing that helps you win. And then the play starters are the triple Unizombie and the triple Solitaire, along with the double Gozuki. So there's so many times in this regionals where I had Unizombie. So my opening hand, I had one of these 6, right? And then I go through it, it's in the graveyard, and then I have a Gozuki in hand. If they don't clear my Doom King, I can easily just OTK. There's so many times I did the standard zombie combo of Gozuki, send Mizuki to the graveyard, revive Unizombie, Unizombie uses effects to send Glow Bloom to the graveyard, which will special summon the Doom King. And then you can use these for synchro summon of a level 8 zombie monster, which is the Shogun Saga. So these just came in clutch today, and I guess the last match I lost just because he opened Ashen and Permanence both times, so that was just rough. But for most of the day, it did really well. But the Zombie World engine, 2 Bloom, 2 Banshee, still sticking with this until we get some new cards. I think this is the best ratio for that. And then 2 Mizuki, just for combos. And there's one game I played against Math Mechs, and he summoned some Exceed monster on my turn and forced me to discard a card from my hand after he had destroyed my Mizuki. No, he destroyed my Unizombie, but then he also sent my Mizuki to the graveyard. So I just revived it and then went full combo. So he got pretty unlucky with that, and felt good when your opponent's effects backfire. But that was pretty funny. Then I played for hand traps only 3 Ash, and then 1 Fraulein. So I go back and forth on Fraulein because she won me a couple games today. just because your opponent doesn't have an immediate answer to remove the Fraulein or your Doom King. She just makes sure your stuff cannot get destroyed by battle. And no one knows what she does, and they're not expecting a hand trap to be activated on attack declaration, so she's always a wild card, you know? So I was thinking about taking her out because she's not a extender or combo piece or play starter, but I mean, it's good because there's actually one time where I bricked hard and I set Globe Bloom, and then my opponent attacked into it and I drew Fraulein, and that saved me from dying. And then the only dangers I'm playing, triple Mothman and double Jackalope. So the change that I made from my previous build was to add the double Jackalope. In theory, the idea was that if I discard the Jackalope on turn 1, I can summon Mothman from the deck, and I'll have more easily available access to Abyss Dweller on turn 1, and I was expecting to play against a lot of Orcists, so that was my tech choice. Unfortunately, I didn't summon Abyss Dweller a single time today, or this weekend, because the decks I faced didn't really get hurt by Dweller, so this didn't come up as much as I would have liked, but nonetheless, being able to go into rank 4 is pretty good. So that's it. The main deck was 42 cards, 25 monsters, 14 spells, 3 traps. So the spells, 3 zombie world. Yeah, you play this and then people don't realize all their stuff's zombies, so it kind of throws them off. Triple Super Poly, best card of the deck, to be honest, in tandem with the zombie world, because it's just remove anything you want. So I'm probably going to change this build up again, because there's a couple times where I could have OTK'd with the Super Poly, but because I had a rivalry up, I couldn't activate it. So I think definitely some things need to change, but Super Poly is definitely a must of at max, whatever we can play it at. Triple Call by the Grave. This was pretty good in most matchups. Just hit Ash and try to remove anything that is a threat in the graveyard. I didn't get hit by too many hand traps today besides Imperum, so I still think in this deck, because you're so normal Summer line, Call by the Grave is a staple. And then I play 1 Foolish Burial. I took out 1-for-1 because I decided it just doesn't help very much if I wanted to cut down on dead draws. So any hand with Foolish Burial in your hand, your starting hand, is good because you can always follow up and play through a hand trap. And then I played 2 Instant Fusion. So I went back and forth between this. I was about to play it, and then I took it out, and then I put it back in. And again, just like the Jackalope, the theory behind this was to increase my chances of being able to turn 1 Abyss Dweller in the Orcust matchup. So that was what, I mean, most of the day I ended up just going Thousand Eyes Restrict, which was also really clutch, because it just baited out things before I could normal summon, so I'm liking the Instant Fusion. Then I still played the 2 Cosmic Cyclone for any problematic cards. Now this did help in the first round against the Mystic Mine and Necro Valley, but the thing is, he Solemn Judgment my Cosmic Cyclone just as I drew it, so there's no coming back from that. And traps, 3 Rivalry of Warlords. This and Vampire Fraulein are 2 cards that I go back and forth on, because when they work, they win you the game. This was pretty good against Pendulum. It slowed down Orcust a lot, but sometimes you don't see this when you need it in your opening hand, so I end up siding it out pretty much every time, because if your opponent plays Twin Twister, this is just the, you know, this zombie world is asking to get hit by that. So that's the main deck. Let's go into the extra deck. Double Vampire Sucker. It didn't come up today that I needed the second one, but I usually like having 2 for the grind game. So pro tip, when I was playing against the Border Stun, I went into Vampire Sucker and he summoned Phantasme, right? So from that point I realized I should not be link summoning anymore, because he's thinking that I link summon often, and I decided it's better to just not go Vampire Sucker, because this is really just when you want to get greedy with the draws. But anyways, he Phantasmade. I brought the Doom King back and just banished Phantasmade because it doesn't target. And then from there, he just couldn't deal with it. But yeah, I still think 2 Vampire Sucker is good in the matchups where it's grindy. And it's probably the best generic Link 2 for zombies you can go into. But I did go into Avenged Savior a lot, and he's the better alternative for when you're going second, because he gives you the additional Foolish Burial effect, and he's better for combat. Link Karibo for the Thousand Eyes and the Glow Bloom, still have to play that. Phoenix, actually didn't go into Phoenix or Unicorn today, but yeah, today was more of just Doom King Turbo, and that worked out pretty well. Red Eye Zombie Necro and Omega did not summon either of them today, but they are both really good cards in zombies. And I still just keep them in there, but Shogun Saga is the main synchro that I've been going towards lately, and he allows you to OTK without going Borrow Sword or making yourself vulnerable to Nibiru, so that's why he's really good. And also because you can still summon him while you're locked under Bloom's only summoning zombie effect, so mandatory play Shogun Saga. That's if you're playing the way that I play this deck. And then for the Exceeds, I play Abyss Dweller and number 60 Dugaris. I didn't go Abyss Dweller at all, and I summoned Dugaris maybe like 5 times, so he's definitely a very important card for my deck, because the backup play is that if, let's say I summon Gozuki and then they Ash the effect, I can go Instant Fusion, Mud Dragon, and overlay Dugaris and get the additional draw 2, discard 1, which is amazing in zombies, because if you draw into Doom King or Glow Bloom or Banshee, you set up. And plus, if you draw 2 and then you don't see anything to help you set up, you're gonna lose that game anyways. So very good card. I recommend playing that. Instant Fusion targets Thousand Eyes Restrict for going second, and Mud Dragon in the Swamp. I don't play Millennium Eyes because, I mean, it's good, but to be honest, I don't want to spend $30 on a card, and I'm sure you budget players don't want to either. And I did fine without it, to be honest, because I just fit the Called by the Graves in. But yeah, Mud Dragon was, it's also a Super Poly target, but that didn't come up. In the last 2 fusions are the Starving Venom and the Dragon Necro for your Super Poly. Yeah, this is just I don't know. This is amazing because any 2 zombie monsters. So every time zombie rolls on the field and you flip out Super Poly when your opponent has like a machine and like a fiend or something, they're like, what can you even make? And you bring this out and they're like, oh, that's generic. A lot of players don't know, but that's it for the extra deck. So let me show you the side deck that I was running. The side deck, I feel like I could have prepped better in the side deck, but I still went with something similar to what I was going with last time. So this time I played 3 Lancia, bumped it up to 3 from 2 last time, and it helped me once, to be honest. Like, I said it in a few times, but I didn't see it very much. So Lancia, just the staple side deck card. Triple Nibiru. Honestly, I'm going to take this card out because I have not summoned it in the last 5 tournaments I've been to. I have not even been able to have a good matchup where Nibiru shines, so I'm not liking that card, and I think it could be better utilized for some other things. But talking about a good card is 2 Dino Wrestler Pankratops. I cite this in every time going second, and he just puts in work no matter what. I won a game with Pankratops beatdown. He just pops Floodgates, and Floodgates are the biggest weakness of zombies, because they get hit by almost every Floodgate. It's crazy. Like Necro Valley, Mystic Mine, there can be only one. even things maybe like summon limit to a certain extent, Imperial Order. So Microtops is just a way to get rid of those, and also he can get rid of cards like Inspector Border really easily. And 2600 makes it easier to deal damage. So Pancratops is a must. And then I played triple Twin Twister for back row, triple Evenly for back row. Did not see Twin at all. I saw Twin once, I saw Evenly none today. And yeah, so basically my going second package that I sided these in all day. And you know, I would side out 8 cards and put these in literally just to deal with back row. And I hate, like, you kind of need this if you're playing zombies in a tournament where you're expecting people to play stun cards or, you know, powerful back row or tech cards. So definitely recommend that. And so that was 14 cards. I didn't want to play 3 Pancratops because I usually see him enough. And then the last one I played Mind Control. Never saw it, but it's really good against Thunder Dragon. And good against Orcus if you're going second. It's just it's never a bad time to have this. But anyways, that was the deck profile that I want to share with you. And 34th place at a regional, and that was my second regional ever since returning to the game in June. So I mean, some of you guys might not think it's a big deal, but topping zombies was my goal, and unfortunately I was close, but I didn't do it. I still feel proud of myself for accomplishing that, and you know, at the top tables, it was like, I was staying at the top tables for a while after my win streak, and I noticed a lot of people just looking and being shocked at seeing a zombie deck. So at the very least, I had that going for me. Hope you guys enjoyed the deck profile. If you have any comments or suggestions, please leave in the section below. Be sure to hit that subscribe button. I will be sticking with zombies for a while. It is my favorite deck of all time in Yu-Gi-Oh! And I will see you guys in the next one. Happy holidays. Peace.